First tonight, the families moving from Hong Kong as part of a huge settlement scheme. We can reveal that 60,000 people are expected to come to the East Midlands in the next 5 years. They've been offered visas after China brought in tough new restrictions over there. And as our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports, well, the first families have already arrived.
Tending a garden's a brand new challenge when you used to live in a skyscraper. Welcome to the Youngs' new rented home at West Bridgford in Nottinghamshire.
This is a lovely place. The first time we met our neighbour and I received a basket of homemade cookies. And I think, wow, brilliant. Everyone knows how to make cookies.
We have very warm welcome in the neighborhood. I joined their WhatsApp group and I try to learn how to do the garden work. I learned a bit from YouTube how to do it.
I think it's good because people say there's 4 seasons in one day in Nottingham. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
They've come from a former British colony that was rocked by protests after China imposed sweeping new controls. So now Hong Kong residents with British nationals' overseas passports have been offered new visas here.
I would like next generation, they can say what they want and they can believe what they want.
Without democracy and without the rights or the freedom, well, life is nothing.
Yeah, so it's time.
Kevin used to be a secondary school teacher. Now he'll need to retrain. Kelly wants a job where she can use her social work and care skills. The children have already started school.
In school we have friends, and I think the best thing in UK is that we have a big house, and then we have our own room, and there are many ducks.
And they always make sound like quack, quack, quack.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and I really like it.
Whose birthday?
They're not going to forget their family and friends, and they won't forget living in that skyscraper. But leaving Hong Kong has been tough.
Separation is hard. I know that they're being good in the past few months, but I really miss that. And especially my mom. This is really hard.
But now the Youngs are preparing to welcome other families here from Hong Kong, and Kelly's honing her baking skills to return the neighbours' hospitality.
Oh, Jeremy's here in the studio. A lovely family they do seem. How challenging is all this going to be, though?
Well, it's been described as a fast track to British citizenship. Now, families are going to be allowed to apply for that if they stay here for 5 years, and over 5 million people currently living in Hong Kong could qualify for that. Now, that's why the government has told local councils to put support in place. East Midlands councils have been told to expect 12,000 people in each of the next 5 years. Now, that's based on the size of existing Hong Kong and Chinese communities where people are expected to settle. And Bryn Fisher's coordinating all this.
They will require intensive support in accessing mainstream services. So the main ones will be enrolling children within schools, support with employment, and in some cases, individuals that may not have excellent English skills, which coming from Hong Kong, the likelihood it will happen, they will have those skills, is to provide them with English classes as well.
I guess it's not the easiest thing to just set up, is it, really?
No, and councils haven't had a lot of time, but Bryn's confident that they can make this work. And that's partly because there's already a tried and tested system they set up for the Syrian resettlement scheme. Now, that includes specialist language tutors in some schools. They're planning to set up a regional welcome hub. A lot of churches are already supporting families like the Youngs. And there's also a pot of government money for integration that councils can apply for.
And where are they expecting everyone to live?
Mainly the cities, Derby, Leicester, Nottingham. Hardly surprising when you think there are established Chinese communities there with their own shops, their own churches, for instance. We are talking big numbers here, which will dwarf that Syrian refugee scheme, for instance. On the other hand, of course, there are big cuts in immigration going on elsewhere at the moment, particularly the end of European free movement after Brexit. And the Prime Minister has said that this is Britain honouring its profound ties of history and friendship with Hong Kong, and that he's immensely proud of that.